Parks and Recreation's celebration of May is National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. Throughout the month of May, we challenge you to get up, get fit, and play by participating in free activities, classes, and events throughout Prince George's County. Enjoy this fun, interactive, and educational session from a community expert. Be sure to share what you learned during this session with a friend or family member.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us for our celebration of National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. My name is Yolanda Galloway, and I'm a Health and Wellness Coordinator with the Department of Parks and Recreation. Before we begin, let's go over a few housekeeping items. You should see a microphone icon at the bottom or top of your screen, like you see here. What you'll need to do is click this icon to mute yourself, and we ask that you remain muted tonight to limit any distractions during the program. Next, I want to draw your attention to the camera icon. You'll use this to turn your camera off and on. Please be mindful that when your camera is on, all participants joining us this evening will be able to see your screen. You have the option to keep your camera on or off or turn it off, but remember we want to minimize distractions so we can just focus on the presentation being provided on this evening. Next, I want to show you how to pin a participant. So to do this, you'll need to click on the Show Participants icon. In the participants column, select the individual you want to view on your screen. After you click the three dot icon to reveal the menu, from the drop-down menu, select Pin for Me, and the pin participant becomes the focus in your view and only your view, regardless of the speaker. To unpin, you would just do those same three steps and select Unpin. Please note that if you are in a web browser, the PowerPoint presentation will be in a smaller window at the top or bottom of your screen. So next is closed captions. Just want to draw your attention to this feature. You can turn on live closed captions during the meeting. And to do this, you'll click on the three dots for more options. Then you can scroll down and find the option that says turn on live captions. And then you will start to see captions at the bottom of your screen. And you can, choose to use this feature if needed. So next is the chat icon. I want to tell you about this icon because this is where we like to engage with you. So you type a question, um, you'll just click on the icon like the one you see here, and it'll bring you to the chat box that you see here. And you'll just be able to type your question or your comment. And so we really look forward to some great discussion tonight. So really use that chat feature, even take some opportunity to use the reaction. So that'll help us have fun and have a good time. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker for the evening, or welcome back our speaker for the evening for some of you. Leslie Jefferson is a certified nutrition specialist with a master's degree in nutrition and integrative health. She finds joy motivating others using a personalized nutrition approach, emphasizing nutrient-dense foods. As a community health manager and nutritionist with Giant Food, Leslie cultivates innovative food as medicine programming and provides nutrition education lectures and classes. When it's time to relax, Leslie loves to line dance, travel, cook, and exercise with a good hit video. Welcome back, Leslie. So glad to have you again tonight.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you guys and talking about hydration. This is a fun topic. It's like, how can water be fun? But we're going to talk about water. And I would love for you guys to share with me a lot of your thoughts on water. So, with this and hydration in general, so I'm going to do the fun part, which is sharing of the screen. This is always the moment. Probably should always have some dramatic music when we're trying to share our screens, just to make sure we always practice. But there it is. Hopefully, you should be seeing the screen shortly. I'm going to give it a pause. And if you can see the screen, give me a thumbs up. This is with those reactions. So this also gives you a way to use. I see some thumbs up. I see some hands raised. This is fantastic. So don't forget to use those too during the presentation. So if there's something that you really like, or if you have a question, you could raise your hand. And we'll just, if you like it or love it, let me know. so that we can make sure that we're interacting together, even though we are online. So the topic is hydrate to feel great. And I know this is, the sports and nutrition month, activity month, but we're going to blend those two things together along with just good health in general. So all of these hydration tips and techniques, and there'll be a few recipes in there you could use them even if you're working out or if you're trying to lose weight or if you just want to learn more about how to have better beverage intake. All right, so let's jump right on in. So one thing about, hydration is hydrations, we always go with food first. We think about food when we're trying to lose weight or if we're, feeling as though we need to do something about our health, we usually go to food first. But really, hydration is one of the most important parts of our overall diet. And a lot of times, this is where we end up with a lot of extras that we may not need that can hinder our goals. So when we think about, the beverages that hinder our goals, one of the first things that pops up is soft drinks. So what do we think about that? Do we think soft drinks are bad or good? Anybody have a story they want to share about their experience with soft drinks? You come off mute, share a little bit, put something in the chat. Soft drinks, good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down, heart, no heart. What do we think?
Yeah, I have something to say. I think ginger ale is a good soft drink.
Okay. Ginger ale. Okay. Cool. I see I got a line dance sister on there. All right. So ginger ale, good soft drink. Okay. So what has anyone given up soft drinks on the call? I see a thumbs up. Some folks have given up soft drinks. Okay, we're gonna explore this. We've got ginger ale is good. We've got some people that have given up soft drinks. Anybody do the unsweetened or zero sugar soft drinks?
Oh, yeah, I do the zero Gatorade G.
Zero. Okay. All right. Coke Zero. I see that. Unsweetened Gatorade. All right. So what about juice? What do we think about juice? What do we think about juice? Do you think is juice good, bad? We don't know. What do we think? Someone says lots of sugar in the chat. Lots of sugar. Do sparkling water in lieu of soft drinks. That's a good suggestion. We have some diet, caffeine-free Pepsi. Yep, diet Dr. Pepper. Okay, so there are lots of different ways to handle your business when it comes to your beverages. So we have soft drinks, we have juices. What about smoothies and, like those naked drinks, like naked smoothie in the bottle? What do we think about those? Anybody drink those? Naked, Boathouse, strawberry, mango, protein smoothie things. High in sugar. I've got a high in sugar in the chat. I've got some I do. Love the Boathouse strawberry banana smoothies. Okay. Now, I like to just say there are no good or bad foods. There are no good or bad foods. No one on this call is right or wrong. It is how all of these things impact the goals that you have for yourself. Coffee, energy drinks, and they do, all of these things do have something in common, right? I think there's a big keyword on there that kind of, lets us know what that is. Anybody know what all these items have in common? Yes, yes. It's coming in. It's coming in hot and heavy. These items, yes, have a lot of high sugar content, and it leads to empty calories. So it all depends on what, if you have a goal you're trying to achieve. Again, that marathon runner, since we're talking about May and activity month, that marathon runner may need some extra calories, and that Bolthouse strawberry, mango, banana drink is perfect for them. But then we may have a person who is trying to lose weight or who may have diabetes. There we go. See the Bolthouse? Hold on to that. Hold on to that Bolthouse right there, because you're going to use that and you're going to read your label. Hold on to that. But I want to say that there's nothing wrong with Bolthouse. It's just, how does it fit? What is the serving? And how does it fit into your goals? So let's look at a little bit, let's dive a little deeper so that we can understand how some of these foods, yeah, thank you for that, Delaney. We're going to talk a little bit about the sugar and the added sugar. Is it really different? Is it? Is it? So I want you to take a peek at this calorie and sugar comparison chart. So since we think a lot of times about food first, I kind of found a way to kind of equate these beverages to certain foods. So if you were to have a 20-ounce Coca-Cola, it's about 65 grams of sugar, 240 calories, lots of sugar packets there. And that's equivalent to eating in one sitting. If you drink your calories, right? If you drink the Coke, it's equivalent to eating 2.5 apples in a sitting. And when you think about your drinks, if you would ever eat in your life 2.5 apples in a sitting, never, not in one sitting. So that's how you can kind of match up the sugar in a beverage to the foods that we eat. So with that, if we go to Starbucks, some of us, go to Starbucks and we get a Frappuccino or some sort of coffee beverage, 67 grams of sugar, a lot of packets there, but that's equal to 4.25 mangoes. Would we ever eat 4 mangoes in one sitting? Our bodies wouldn't let us do it. We may want to do it, but our bodies wouldn't let us do that. And same for that Lipton iced tea. Sometimes we have those sweetened teas. 45 grams of, okay, I'm going to have to put you on mute because there's a lot of feedback. So with that, when you have the Lipton iced tea, it's 170 calories, 45 grams of sugar. That's equivalent to almost 3 oranges. So it's a good way to think about how your beverages, liquid calories, can impact us in a stronger way than even our regular food. So there is no good or bad. I'm not going to say soda is bad or this soda is better. There's none of that. You eat and drink according to the goals that you're trying to achieve, right? But if we want to put it in perspective with food, think about how your calories, liquid calories, and your liquid carbohydrate intake, because sugar is a carbohydrate, impact your body overall. So I want to pause here. Anybody have any questions about this slide? Did it make you go, wow? Did it make you go, What do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Surprise face? Or I already knew that? I got thumbs up. I got one thumbs up. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Liquid calories impact your goals differently than when we chew and swallow. Okay. So let's dive a little deeper. So you always hear that saying, rethink your drink. So you want to be mindful of those sugary beverages, those adult beverages also, and you want to try to, when you're looking at getting into hydration that is more nutritive. They would say water doesn't have nutrition in it because there are no vitamins or minerals. Well, it could be minerals, no vitamins in your water, but I'm going to call that the nutritive a beverage. Maybe you want to try to get a container. Most of us do walk around with some type of water bottle of some sort. So to encourage us to make sure it's full and that we are, a lot of times we get it, excuse me. Okay. So we want to get that water bottle to make sure that we are, you know, tracking how much we're drinking and, make sure it's attractive and something that you could use regularly. So rethinking your drink, rethinking how you are drinking and the containers that you're using. All right. So someone mentioned added sugar and natural sugars, sugar added and sugar not added. So our Frappuccino, which we talked about earlier, you could see here these are, liquid containers, or you could go to Starbucks and get the items. But, the total carbohydrate for the beverage can be significant. I need to get my glasses. Wait a minute. Okay. So total carbs can be significant here. So we have, 37 grams of carbohydrate, and then we have total sugars, added sugars here, 32. So this has added sugar to it, so that can be sweetened. So we want to look for that on the label. Now, the calories here in one container, one serving size, one each, 210 calories, and we have a high carbohydrate load as well as no fiber and some sugar. So if we're taking in these sugary beverages or high carbohydrate, I'll call them beverages, they can impact your overall goals for the day. So if you're having these with a meal that has a higher carbohydrate load on the body, and your drink has a higher carbohydrate load on the body, even though some items could be considered healthy, as in our naked or our bolt house drinks, they can still hinder any weight loss goals or your impact your blood sugar levels because the carbohydrate levels are very high in both of these, the Bolt House and the Naked Green Machine. I started to use this one, the Green Goddess. That's so funny. So the total carbohydrate here is 63 grams, and the total sugars are, in the 53 grams. There's no added sugar to the Bolt House or the Naked. It's a natural sugar because of the fruit. But your body doesn't know the difference. Your body doesn't go, that's an apple. Yay. I'm not going to add any calories to that because as you can see, the calories here are higher. It was 210 for the Frappuccino, $2.70 for the green machine. Now, do you get more vitamins and minerals? Yes, because this is made out of fruit and vegetables. So you get more vitamins and minerals. There's more nutrition in the green machine or the Bolthouse Green Goddess. But what happens is that the carbohydrate load is still high, and your body doesn't really say, this is Frappuccino. This is Naked Green Machine or Bolthouse. It doesn't know. It's just going to digest the carbohydrates, and it will use them as efficiently as your activity level will allow. So keep that in mind. When you drink, your calories can have a bigger impact on your goals overall. So we like these things. We like Frappuccinos. We like Green Machine. We like Bolthouse. What can we do to still enjoy them and also still meet our goals? What can we do to balance this out? What do we think? Anybody want to put something in the chat? I see some chats coming in. What can we do to balance this out? Add water. Stars to that answer. I love it. Add water to it, for sure. Definitely. I see another chat coming in. Don't drink all of it. I love it. Right. So a serving size is one bottle. Now, believe it or not, in the Naked, the ones that you could get single serving, it used to be considered almost 2.5 servings. But they changed it because everybody drinks the whole bottle. That also encourages you to drink the whole bottle because you feel like it's, one serving. But it used to be 2.5 servings. So that would break down your carbohydrate load immensely. So you could drink half of it, add some water to it. It cuts down on the carbohydrate load. You could also have some protein with it. Protein helps to slow the stomach emptying so that your carbohydrates don't have such a huge impact on your blood sugar levels, and it keeps you feeling full and satisfied longer. Because there's very little, I don't think there's no fiber in either one of these beverages. So fiber is missing, so we don't feel full and satisfied. So you can add some protein with it. So if you're having half serving, add some water to it, have a sandwich with it, half a sandwich, and you're good to go. So those are great suggestions. Add water, don't drink all of it, watch your portion size, have some protein with it. All right. So we talked briefly about those adult beverages. Dun, dun, dun. So if you are partaking in the adult beverages, again, this is another place where it can impact your goals, and it's mainly because of the portion. It's mainly because of the portion that we're having, or it could be the way that our adult beverages are mixed. Because we may add a lot of juice, we may add, other things to them, things like margaritas and such. So those can impact your goals. So if you're a woman, generally one of each of these beverages, one type, 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine. I'll just say that again, 5 ounces of wine. And 1.5 ounces of any alcohol, spirit. But 5 ounces of wine is considered a serving. So I know we've probably talked about this before on these calls, but I just like to say it again. If you get the opportunity, you enjoy your nightly glass of wine, measure it out. See how much your normal wine pour is. And then pour it in a measuring cup. and see how much you're taking in. Just by cutting back to that 5 ounce area, you will see, some changes in the way that your weight loss goals are you know coming to fruition. Is that a word? I think I messed that up, but you know what I mean. So 5 ounces of wine. Keep checking on that. Um, so let's go forward. So did you know you could hydrate with produce? You know I got to get the vegetables in there somewhere. I got to get them in there. Yeah, I had to sneak in the vegetables, not with the bold house, not with the naked, just plain old ordinary vegetables can, produce a lot of hydration for the body. It's called gel water. So think of when you bite into a pepper or you bite into an apple, that juiciness, cucumbers, that juiciness you feel. If you're out and about this summer and you got kids and they're running around and they won't stop to drink water, give them some strawberries, give them, some a peach or some grapes. All of those things are very water based and they can help with hydration as kids, are being kids. And you can feel a little bit more comfortable. Of course, they should drink the water too. Celery, definitely. And celery is high in fiber. Think of those stringy things that happen on a celery. Celery is very filling and it has a high water content. Cucumbers, zucchini, all of those things. And the fiber helps you feel full and satisfied. So go for it. Eat your vegetables every meal, even breakfast, first meal of the day. Yes, have some vegetables with your breakfast. All right. Hmm. Good question, Kathy. Is there a list for water content in fruits and vegetables? I'm sure someone has created a list in the order of, most to least. Um, but I mean, I think for our taste and for each person's taste, you could, determine what fruits and vegetables you like most. And things like when you bite into a peach or when you bite into an apple or you bite into cucumber or a yellow pepper and you get that spray versus if you were to bite into some celery or broccoli, right? You could tell right then and there it's not going to be as juicy. So yeah, the water content is pretty evident and just determine which ones you like. But I'm gonna look that up to see if there's one. The nutritionist, the nerdy part of me is interested in your question. So I'm gonna look that up and I'll provide something to Yolanda so she could pass out to folks. Okay, so how do you hydrate? I want you to put in the chat some of the interesting ways that you like to hydrate. Is it a special brand of water? Do you, infuse your beverages? I have some little mint plant outside that just won't die. Keeps coming back. So I have my mint in there and some lemon. I mean, pretty simple infusion. Yeah, I love the lemon infused water. How do you hydrate? What are some of your favorite things? Because some people may need some new ideas. We all get stuck in a rut. We end up doing the same thing over and over again. Ah, okay. I see, Miss Kathy. Fuse. What's Fuse? I don't know. Is that a brand? Smoothies with water instead of milk. Mm-hmm. Clear splash. So infused. Oh, infused. Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. And cucumber and mint. Yes, cucumber and mint. That is a spa day at home. Yes, water and cucumber. And then you get a snack, right? Get a snack. If you don't let the cucumber sit too much, otherwise it can get kind of But don't let it go to waste, right? Have that cucumber. It's a good, and cucumber is fantastic to cut back on the sweet tooth. If you eat cucumbers, they will help your tongue, retrain itself so it doesn't desire sweet as much. Lots of good suggestions. Clear Splash. What's that? Clear Splash. That's a beverage. It comes in a little skinny bottle. Sparkling water. Yes. I've got a couple sparkling waters. My favorite. I know I'm weird. The nutritionist in me. I love grapefruit. The grapefruit sparkling water. This is the bubbly. And my all-time favorite, because I'm not really a big fan of sparkling water, but I do like the Spindrift Blackberry. It's hard to find, but this is my favorite. This is my favorite. When my husband drinks one, I get mad. And then I also have, this is an unsweetened lemonade, iced tea. If I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to make my own. So those are some of my favorites. Yes, so thanks for sharing how you hydrate. Ooh, prebiotic with Hello Water prebiotic with cucumber and lime. I never heard of that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to look that up. I've never heard of that. Hello Water. Oh, we're getting it in. Ah, the clear splash. Oh, I see it. Giant sells it. Okay, so look at you. I see the clear splash with the giant, whoop, whoop, and I see I'm going to look for the Hello Water prebiotic with the cucumber and lime. Is it sparkling? Has anybody else had Hello Water? Sounds interesting. So we all get to learn something new today. That's what it's all about. So lots of water with lemon. We got cucumber and mint seems to be pretty good. Don't forget, you could, get your strawberries out. It's that time of year. Blackberries, blueberries, especially when things start to get a little wrinkly looking and not so attractive. It's a good time to start using it to infuse your water. Because why? Because water is our most abundant nutrient in the body. I'm going to look for the Hello Water. I'm going to look for that. We'll try to see if anybody can get a picture of it and put it in the chat. That would be great. We can't walk and chew gum at the same time sometimes. Because we need the water more than we need food. So drinking water throughout the day, unless you have, a specific illness that says, hey, you need to cut back on the water, you need to monitor your water intake. There are some kidney diseases that do require a monitoring of the amount of water that's taken in during the course of the day. So if that's not you, right, then you need to drink water. Drink a lot of it because it supports all of our systems immensely. And most of the time when we feel snacky, that old saying is true, you're probably thirsty. You should have something to drink. And drinking water throughout the day is very beneficial. Because, our body is, and there's, debate on this, is 60% to 70% water. So please keep that in mind. So we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why we should drink water. Yay. So, top 5, number 5, temperature regulation. Now, I know I got my ladies on here. Anyone have any personal summers? Anyone just break out in a sweat? And they're like, what's happening? Temperature regulation. Personal summers. Good reason to stay hydrated and to monitor that. If you do break out into a personal summer and, maybe you start to sweat or you have what they're calling a hot flash, Monitor your beverage intake. What are you drinking through the course of the day? Things that can be a trigger are caffeinated beverages, alcoholic beverages, and high sugar beverages. So having water, test it out. See how your body responds from day to day. If you do your normal beverage intake, and then if you have one day where you don't have water, maybe you drop one of your beverage types off, and see how you do with any type of hot flashes. The other thing is now that we are in COVID and masks, for me, they're not going anywhere. And so now that it's getting warm outside, yes, caffeine for those hot flashes, it's it's real. I can't give up my coffee. I am a coffee drinker. It's challenging. So I choose the flask. But the wearing of the mask during the day, and now that we're coming into the warmer weather, very important to make sure that we're staying hydrated because the mask can impact, breathing and, the respiration. So when we want to control our temperature, we the mask can hinder that in some ways. So we want to be mindful of that and make sure we're taking off our mask to have a drink because people will tend to forget to drink. You won't drink as often if you're wearing the mask. And of course, if you are ill, you may find that you have a fever, temperature regulation again, which is why our body often does not ask for food when we do have a fever. We do always try to. We're very thirsty. We want to drink. So our bodies are very wise, and it's important to listen to, especially if we have fever or are feeling ill. We are in Washington, D.C. area, sinus infection, those types of things. Staying hydrated is very important, especially when the pollen is high. So let's look at some things to help us stay hydrated with those unsweetened beverages in temperature regulation. So one of the great things to have is green tea. You can have a decaf green tea. And there are many ways to get green tea in from matcha to, green tea with pear flavor and having it unsweetened, having your sparkling waters nice and cool, and as well as, your teas that are already prepared like this one, or you could get a green tea unsweetened. So you want to also watch beverages that have zero sugar but taste sweet. That means it could have some type of, yeah, it's not bad. LaCroix, it's not bad. I mean, you got to find your flavor with the sparkling waters. That's very important to find your flavor. You got to find the one that hits your taste. Yeah, and if you like the fizz and you don't want the soda, you're trying to wean yourself off. There are a lot of choices out there that you could try. So find your flavor, find the right bubble. Do you like small bubbles, little bubbles, lemon or lime, or plain? Yeah, I kind of, if I'm going to have it, I like plain or I'll get those two. But if you're working on with the beverages that still taste sweet and have zero calories, and you notice you're still having flashes, or maybe you have stomach upset, sometimes the artificial sweeteners, especially those that end in OL, like the xylitol, can cause stomach upset. And some of the artificial sweeteners are many times sweeter than regular sugar and can still impact the desire for sweetness. Even though it's zero calories, it can still create the desire for sweet, which could cause you to eat other things that are very sweet. And that can impact your goals. So just be aware if you are having things that drinks that have zero sugar but are still tasting sweet, We want to be mindful of how that impacts the rest of your meals. Clear splash. Yeah, you want to just be mindful if it tastes sweet. It's always better to try to control your own sweetness. So if you want to add, I know we freak out, add a teaspoon of sugar, 4 grams of carb, not much carb, even though, you're controlling the amount of sugar you're adding. Keep that in mind. Aspartame, yeah. Yeah, that goes to that sweetness. It's it's many times sweeter than regular sugar. So it does, if you have a sweet tooth and you're like, I can't get rid of the sweet tooth, and everything you're eating, it has artificial sweeteners in it, or what we call non-nutritive sweeteners. Nutritive sweeteners are things like sugar because it has calories. So it's a nutritive sweetener. You have non-nutritive sweeteners like aspartame. So sweet and low, the blue packet. If you're going to go with any of those, go with something like a stevia because it's made from real plants. And try to get real stevia with no additives. But just be mindful of the aspartame and how it's impacting your other foods that you like to eat. If you always have a sweet tooth and everything you get is 0 calories, you got that. You're welcome. Okay, so number four is water improves mobility. So I always hear a lot of times, oh, my knees hurt. Oh, my back hurts. We're trying to be active. We don't want to walk. We're walking and it hurts. Hydration can help with that. I mean, it won't fix it entirely, but it can help monitoring how much water you're taking in during the course of the day, especially if you're sitting for long periods and then you're trying to be active. So it's important to get that hydration in during the course of the day. During, after, and really even what's more important is before physical activity, at least 2 hours before any activity, especially if it's hot outside, you want to get that water in. And one of the reasons why we love water, if you're exercising 60 minutes, you don't need Gatorade. Your body is doing okay. Regular water is just fine. But if you're outside and it's hot, and you're doing something for more than an hour, or you're really feeling depleted, then the electrolytes are needed, and that's where you can get that Gatorade in. Or you can make your own. You can make your own homemade citrus sports drink with a little bit of fresh juice, or you could use lemonade, you could use a little orange juice, a little pinch of salt, and and shake that up. You could add a little extra honey to that and make your own sports drink. And then you get the minerals and the electrolytes that you need. If you have time, if this is something important to you, take a picture of that so that you can have that and you can make it on your own, especially if you go on bike rides or you want to go hiking, you want to be very active this summer, your own homemade citrus sports drink. That little taste that you get from Gatorade, it comes from the sodium that's added. So a little sprinkle of salt. All right. Number 3, anybody feeling like they get a midday slump, or we've been going through this COVID thing for a while, so your mood might be a little low, or you just can't sleep. Hydration, believe it or not, is very important because if you are drinking more water, it really helps in the transportation of nutrients. So remember, our blood is what brings nutrients all around the body. And when we have lots of sugary beverages, or high carbohydrate load, we hear that term, you got the sugar in your blood, it kind of slows down the process of the way our blood flows. And it also can cause narrowing of the arteries, which could also slow down blood flow. So blood also brings not only nutrients, but it brings oxygen, and oxygen is what gives our body life. So we want to make sure that if we are taking in beverages, because of course they can impact our health even more so than some of the foods that we're eating, we want to make sure that we're bringing in lots of water so that it cuts down on the sugar, which helps to promote blood flow. And blood flow is important for sleep, and it's important for your mood. So let's take a peek at some ways to get more rest. I am a big proponent of the nighty night chamomile tea. I have that almost every night, or I love this chamomile lavender. If you like something during the day, if you're like me and you like coffee, because I do like coffee, I switched to a decaf chai tea during the day, unsweetened. Good way to train the taste buds again. Unsweetened. And there are lots of different types of teas on the market. And the teas are really good, not just for your mood, but they're good overall. They're good for your liver. Chamomile, great for your liver, helping with that detoxification that we like to have. So is water. Water is great for detoxification on its own. So any one of these teas would be great, or any one of your choice that you like that is decaffeinated. For chamomile, look for passion flower. Look for valerian. Those herbs are very good for promoting rest and relaxation. Chamomile, valerian, passion flower, really good for that. Too much licorice root in a tea, in an herbal tea, can raise your blood pressure. So just keep that in mind. Licorice root can raise your blood pressure. So keep that in mind. Because sometimes they'll add licorice root because it makes it taste sweet with some of the teas. All right, number 2. Improve digestion. So if things are feeling a little sluggish, things aren't moving around, of course, remember those vegetables, fiber, right? Gel water. But it also helps to remove those toxins and move things along in the course of your day, especially if you sit a lot. And it does help to boost your metabolism. I mean, if you're hungry, maybe you're just thirsty, and so you have some water. So that could be very beneficial. One of the things that people enjoy, and one of the good ways to do it, instead of the Bold House or the naked juice, you can make a smoothie, but don't overload it. Don't have your blender looking like that unless your smoothie is for like 10 people. How many people's smoothie containers look like that? All healthy, wonderful things, but too much of a good thing could be too much of a good thing and ruin your goals. So you want to try to, keep it small and nice little portion. This, a half cup of mango, a banana, some leafy greens, always have leafy greens, a date for sweetness and fiber, a little acid from a lime, which brings up the flavor, and you could go with water or oat milk. Keep it slim. Keep your smoothie slim and, slim and sexy, right? So because you want to, make your smoothie like a balanced plate. You want to have the protein, you want to have good vegetables, and you want to have good fruit in there, and you want to have high fiber. So that date there provides that. You don't need to have everything in your cupboard in your smoothie, because that can lead to too much sugar, too much fat. And remember, sugar is sugar. It doesn't matter if it's agave, raw, honey. your body still says, what is that? It's a carbohydrate. I'm going to digest it as such. And you want to watch the liquids that you add to those smoothies and make sure they don't have added sugars. So always have that carbohydrate and a protein in your smoothie. A lot of times you'll have a smoothie and it'll have strawberries and bananas and a leafy green, hopefully a leafy green. And you want to add some type of protein, like a chia seed or a flax seed, or maybe almond butter, or maybe you have regular milk that has protein in it. All right, this is a fiber-filled, beautiful smoothie. It's a avocado chia smoothie. So it's avocados to make it thick and creamy, a little chia seed, some leafy greens, and a banana. Very simple. You could use water and ice to make sure that your smoothie is in the creamy consistency that you like. And the number one reason why we want to have our water is because it improves our immunity. And that is very important because we don't want to catch things. We want to keep our mucous membranes nice and moist. And it helps us be resistant to infection. And that is very important because if you're ill, the rest of the things you can't do. You can't exercise, you won't be having a personal summer because you're trying to recover. So we want to keep our bodies healthy. We want to keep our immune system, up and active. So having hydration, because the entrance way for a lot of the illnesses that we do have that are viral or bacterial is is through the mucous membrane. So we want to make sure that we are keeping things moist. So with that, you could try an infused drink if water really isn't your thing, because I do understand that water by itself, most of us just don't want to drink, water down. But you could try an infused drink. You could take green tea and infuse it. Keep it in the refrigerator, not sweetened. You can have regular water with your infusion ready to go. So you want to try to have something that is attractive, that it causes you to want to drink the water. If it's just plain old water, you may not want to drink it. But if it's infused with things that you like, then you may drink a little more of it. So whether if you love your water infused or savory, things like bone broth, good way to get in some good nutrition, as well as good for breakfast. Bone broth is fantastic. I like Zoop. I think it's a great product. You can have that as hydration also. And then also you can have it fruity, as fruity as you like, or bubbly. You can have still water. You can have hot or cold teas. It doesn't matter as long as you're drinking up. It's a water-based beverage that doesn't have a lot of sugar or no sugar, unsweetened. So that is my time. If you are interested in learning more or hanging out with the Healthy Living team just a little bit more, want more info on things, you could reach out to us at healthyliving@giantfood.com. You could take a picture of the QR code to join the podcast, which has a ton of information on food. I mean, you want to know something about food, Mandy has it covered. You can also join a class, or you can join our Facebook group. So it was a pleasure to be back with you guys. Are there any other questions? Hopefully it was helpful, and I'm going to stop sharing. Hopefully everyone got their QR code. And yay, I'm glad people are drinking more water. Hi, Deborah.
Have you heard of the bio water?
The bio water. Now, I want to say that there are so many different types of water out there. And my thoughts on water are buy the best water for your budget and the one that you like the taste of. But as long as you're hydrating and you're hydrating with water, you're doing a great job. But find the one that you like the best. You're very welcome, Charlene. You're very welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. So good. I love this session because I get new ideas for different things to try. So I got some new things I can pick up at Giant now. So thanks, Katrina, for those pictures. It's helpful. I have to take my phone in and make sure I'm looking for it. So thank you all for engaging, for your questions, and for sharing great ideas with the rest of us. So before we let you go, just want to remind you to complete the survey. Julia, thank you. She's shared that in the chat. You'll also get it in an email following the session. Also want to let you know if you want this recording, it's available upon request, and you can also find it on our website at wellness.pgparks.com in our video library. So we're capturing all of our recordings and you can find it there. We want to invite you to join us for tomorrow evening. We have a Down, Learn, and Move session titled Eating for Mental Health as we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. So join us there. You can register at pgparks.com, and then join us for our kickoff to our summer cooking and smoothie demo sessions, cooking demonstration sessions. Our first one is June the 8th, and it begins at 6 p.m. and it is titled Protein Packed Smoothies. We'll be sharing a watermelon strawberry protein shake and an almond delight protein shake. So if you're interested in smoothies, definitely the weather is getting warmer. We'd love to have you join us on that virtual session. Again, thank you all, and I hope you have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you again for joining us, and we hope you can join us for more programs throughout the month of May to celebrate National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. For more videos to help get you up, get fit, and play, visit the Department of Parks and Recreation's online resource center at pgparks.com or the Health and Wellness Virtual Library at wellness.pgparks.com. To find more National Physical Fitness and Sports Month activities, classes, and events, visit pgparks.com and search for May Is.